It's against the law, and when it happens, it can turn deadly.
Our newest episode of KSAT Explains is all focused on illegal street racing in San Antonio. A viewer sent us a question asking what's being done to stop it. From changes in state law to a local effort to crack down on people who promote street racing. Here's KSAT Explains. It happens in San Antonio time and time again.
There were dozens of cars that were blocking off the roads here.
Street racing down this road
happens all the time.
2 cars would have driven right through their home's wall and into their living room.
They don't think about the innocent people that's driving along these roads.
We first met Larry Wilson last fall. He lived around the corner from this scene on the 8,000 block of Prue Road where street racing turned deadly. A car was coming over a hill as 2 others, a BMW and a Mercedes, were racing side by side. The driver of the 3rd car, not involved in the race, was hit head on and killed.
Could be easily one of us, coming home, from work or the store and just coming up the hill. It's not a video game. There's no reset and oops, don't bring someone back.
Wilson has experience with these incidents as both a neighbor and a former DPS trooper. Racing can be a challenge for law enforcement to tackle. Some of it is spontaneous.
One guy revved his engine in Mercedes and most likely the other guy probably revved his engine back and the race is on.
These events are extremely dangerous. They're dangerous to the motoring public. They're dangerous to people who may be in the parking lot where they're gathering and doing their donuts and burnouts and all that.
It's those kinds of events, parking lot or intersection takeovers by drivers, that so often spread on social media. They get a fast following, drawing huge crowds, adding fuel to the potential for people to get hurt.
Street racing's been around since cars have been around, let's be honest.
This is Levi Lewis, and he's really into cars.
Levi Lewis, I am president and founder of Alamo City LX Modern Mopar.
That's an auto enthusiast group he founded in 2007. He doesn't call it a car club.
It is guilt by association. When a lot of people hear car club, they get a negative connotation immediately. Oh, you're the guys who are doing that stupid stuff.
What they do is show off their cars.
There's a lot of spoiled cars here tonight, let's be honest.
Organize charity events and promote safe driving, especially of fast cars. It's a mission that's becoming more challenging. So what's driving illegal street racing? Levi thinks it's a combination of things.
Really, the attainability of cars, of fast cars, has become easier and cheaper for a younger generation. I mean, you can get into one of the lower end Chargers for $29,000, $30,000, if that. And on the used market, you can even look at it cheaper. And so you're seeing more younger people getting a hold of them and then going out and acting young.
Then you add in social media, the ability of one post to be seen by thousands.
I kind of equate that back to the I want to be Insta famous. And that drives the street takeovers and the parking lot burnouts. You see every video that's ever been put out there, and the crowds all got their phones out and they're videoing it.
State and local leaders are noticing the problem as well. New state laws passed in 2021 shift illegal street racing from a Class B misdemeanor to a Class A misdemeanor and allow law enforcement to confiscate cars involved.
We made some significant arrests and we've impounded a number of vehicles, and I think the folks who were involved in this, and I think they were repeat offenders, I think that they got the message.
From September 2020 to October 2021, San Antonio police responded to 213 reports of street racing. 276 citations were handed out and 116 arrests were made. Racing seemed to rev up here last fall, so SAPD stepped up enforcement. More recently, from October 2021 to April 1st of this year, San Antonio police responded to 27 reports of street racing and made 30 arrests. 27 cars were impounded. But what about those who help promote illegal street racing? The city may have its own answer. There's a proposed ordinance on the table.
This ordinance is addressing the type of street racing where large groups of people gather to watch the street racing.
Melissa Cabello-Haverda, the city council member representing District 6, is the chair of the Public Safety Committee, which passed this ordinance on to the full city council.
We're seeing kind of a newer phenomenon of people promoting these activities on social media and saying, hey, there's going to be a race here. come watch, and it's gaining more popularity, which in turn is going to increase the amount of street racing, even though that's already illegal. So now it's going to be unlawful to, if this passes with the full council, it will be unlawful to promote that behavior by attending.
Attending could get you a citation, but the idea of penalizing spectators has been met with pushback by those who question how law enforcement can distinguish people who are promoting or intentionally watching something illegal versus those who are not.
I have walked out of a Target, walking back to my car with my bags, and seen some of this happen. So what prevents me from getting in trouble, the chief assures me that there's a clear distinction. The people that are showing up with, ice chests, kind of there to have a party in a way, right? And people who are walking out with their bags and, their children.
The councilwoman says she still has questions about making that distinction and expects that to be discussed when the full city council considers this ordinance this summer. But there's a key solution that's still missing in San Antonio: a safe place to race. In the fall of 2021, SAPD teamed up with Alamo City Motorplex in Marion to encourage racing on a track in a safer, controlled environment. But then that idea came to a screeching halt when the track shut down.
We need something in the 7th largest city in America to have a safe place for our youth to go, and not so youth.
Cabello Haverda says it's worth having a conversation about whether taxpayer dollars could be used to help get a track up and running.
If we can make it a little bit easier for them to offer this service, and it could be a business. They can make money. They can sell concessions. I can't imagine that they'd have trouble getting people to come and participate, in our city.
But a solution like that takes time and often red tape. So what can be done now to curb illegal racing and potentially save lives?
That is the question that would make both of us, millionaires. I say education, the embrace and communication from the positive part of the car community, and helping educate the youth, showing them what can be done in a safe environment and what you don't have to do to prove your value or your worth, I think is a portion of the solution.
If someone egg you on and trying to get you to race, hey, know your worth and just let them move on about their business and you go the other way. These roads is unforgivable. It's not for racing. It's not.
To check out more episodes of KSAT Explains, scan the QR code that you see right here. That will take you straight to our website where you can watch any Explains episode anytime on demand. Look for a new KSAT Explains next Monday right here on the news at 6.